Okay, we are back once again, baby. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you know that today is a great day for some peace, prosperity, and harmony. And I hope you're receiving all three, baby. I'm so excited because we have a brand new segment for the very first time. We're doing a happy hour live. Let's go. I'll be doing some Q&As, be doing some readings, pulling some cards. Here to help. If you have questions, let me know. I'm excited. Get you a drink. I got two. I got a green smoothie, and I have some water. That's right. Starting your day out with some good vibes. Maybe your afternoon. Maybe you're somewhere I don't know about and it's nighttime. Either way, some good vibes going down over here. Now, I do want to uh, talk real quickly before we go into the reading because I have a lot of exciting news. First thing is first, I have put some links in the description box of this video. Check them out when you get a chance because there's a lot in there. Okay? First things first, as I said, got some merch ideas. So if you're interested at all in getting a Good Vibes t shirt or anything of that nature, send me an email and I can get you that as soon as possible. Good stuff. If I was you, I'd check that out. I'm also running a campaign at the moment for my music. So I put some links in the description as well. I got some exclusive VIP merchandise coming. It's here. You only got 2 more days to order. So if you haven't ordered by now, you should get on that. And that's it for now. Let's go get into the reading. All right. Remember, when you come in the chat, just hit that thumbs up button. Really appreciate that. You can also share the video if you feel like it's helped you in some way. It's really going to help the channel grow. I greatly appreciate that. Okay, let's get into this energy a bit. I feel good. First card off the deck is the Ten of Wands, followed by the Seven of Cups, then the King of Pentacles, and then the Six of Cups. So this is the happy hour, and we're going to spend a full hour just doing some readings, doing some Q&As. Let me turn this around so you guys can see it a little better. There we go. So the first out the deck was the Ten of Wands. Let's talk about that a little bit. The Ten of Wands is a card about work, having to possibly do some work. Also, there is some energy around just having optimism, reinvigoration, and being able to do the work that's required of you right now to receive the benefit that you're looking for in the future. But it's also about doing the work with some kind of integrity, with some optimism that's youthful. Once you get to a certain space, you'll see that there's not far left to go. The images in this one, it looks like someone is carrying some sticks or a heavy load to a distance, but it's far off, or it may seem that it's far off. This card is kind of encouraging you to be enthusiastic and optimistic about the work that has to be made. It has to be done. Remember that if you have a true heart, now may be the time to be by yourself. Get some work done in solitude. This is just one person carrying all the load. And that may be what's required right now for some of you. You got to look beyond the challenges of the setbacks, of the disappointments, of the frustrations. This card is saying that some of you see imperfections in everything. And it frustrates you when things aren't perfect the way that you want them to be. There's a possibility for all types of things. It kind of requires you to be optimistic about it to receive the benefits, though. Something could be perfect right in front of you as it is, but the work that needs to be done is ignoring what you feel is an imperfection, removing yourself from the situation and doing work on yourself could make you feel better about the circumstances or the situation altogether. So, as you reevaluate and reimagine and renew yourself towards your goals and ambitions, it might help with how you see things. So, speaking of how you see things, the Seven of Cups came out afterwards, and that's something to talk about. Allow yourself to daydream because some dreams give you the creative ideas and solutions to produce great results. Look at an example here in my own life. This channel, kind of daydreamed about it. The merch, I had a daydream about it. I was just like, you know what? What if I did this? Then I was able to bring those things into reality because of a thought, a daydream, just freeing myself to think how I want to think and put things into fruition through that. You can raise your hopes and expectations and upgrade your results. A lot of people think this is about a fantasy, or someone who's operating in illusions. But a daydream is a fantasy and it's a form of illusion. So the negative connotations that are normally associated with this card aren't necessarily wrong or false, but they aren't 100% accurate to all of the energy. And I feel like this is saying if you approach a situation with some optimism and a mindset geared towards making your dreams a reality, there's something beautiful there. All this energy is wonderful. Like the Ten of Wands, the Seven of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. That's a good sign. It's a really good sign. The Seven of Cups, if it were reversed, it would kind of be read as someone not really seeing their purpose in your outside of playful energy. So if this were you at the moment and your energy was the Seven of Cups, you'd either be in a fantasy world or a daydream world where that's where a lot of your energy was going. If it were reversed, it would probably say that you aren't in the energy of being playful, of being happy, curious, and you probably lack some purpose, kind of forcing your mind to be in a desert, not really the place to create um, good fantasies or illusions. Probably in a place of despair. So definitely want to reimagine some things if you can. Re-establish your energy in something more playful and focused, youthful. Um, Perform an exercise in creative visualization by relaxing and letting go of your fears. Visualization, mindful meditation. Those are some ways to relax. Imagine yourself in a field of flowers or by the water, whatever it is that actually makes you happy. That Seven of Cups is really saying that that's what's required at the moment. Now we're going to move on to the King of Pentacles because that is an important card in this energy right now. Because that is taking these two energies and trying to flip it into something greater. This energy is about working hard and visualizing your finish line and putting the energy into it and probably going at it alone. The King of Pentacles is really telling of how things are going to turn in your favor if you're able to do that. The King of Pentacles is telling you how. It's saying the King of Pentacles projects their confidence onto everything. You may be in a relationship with someone or know someone who has some financial issues, and they may not be in the best place right now, and you may think of them as lackluster or not having what it takes, or they're not making good decisions, but their energy may be completely confident that everything will be okay. And that's some King of Pentacles type of energy. They may believe that the goal is already secured. They don't operate from a place of lack. Some people operate from a complete state of lack. They're worried about the things that they can't do. They're worried about the things that they want to do because they can't do them. They're worried about finances because of how things may appear. Well, I don't want to wear a certain thing, someone may think, because it'll make me look like I don't have money. People think like that. Ultimately, someone who's in the King of Pentacles energy, the last thing that they're worried about is how they are perceived. The last thing that they're worried about is telling someone their plans because they think that they'll ruin them. The King of Pentacles doesn't operate from a space of lack, they operate from abundance, making it extremely difficult to throw someone off who's in that type of energy. You just can't kill their ideas. You just can't. Well, I think, oh, that's great. I appreciate that. But I'm still going to do it. And I'm still going to do it because I know it's going to work. Oh, you think it won't? Okay. Watch me do it. That's King of Pentacles energy. That's how it works. Now, if this energy were reverse, it suggests that you should shift your focus from control to discipline, specifically self discipline. For some of you, you may be in a situation where you are trying to control someone else, or possibly trying to be controlled by someone else. Ultimately, this energy of the King of Pentacles in reverse is saying practice and focus on self discipline. You may perceive right now that the things that you want out of life aren't possible, forcing you to go into this overdrive mode of wanting to have your desires lived out right now through instant gratification. One of the most difficult aspects of having an abundance mindset is possibly that, well, you know you aren't likely to get what you want right now. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some work. But there is a sort of beauty in delayed gratification. Because then when you end up exactly where you wanted to be all along, you're there with the right people. You're there with the right intentions, the right focus, and you've managed to get the thing that you desired, or things, or people, places, persons, whatever. At the end of the day, the point is to think of situations from a space of abundance rather than lack, and behave as though you already were a success. Project confidence. It's just a little tip. Next up, we have the Six of Cups coming in heavy. And I like the Six of Cups card because I like the message behind it. It's almost telling you to rely on your wisdom. So these first four messages out here are coming in strong. Work hard. Might have to go out alone. That's okay. Open up your mind a little bit. Be creative about the solutions. Think, daydream. Allow yourself to be playful. Come, think of on situations from a place of abundance rather than lack, and then use wisdom and use your past experience as a way to cultivate a better circumstance or situation for yourself. So let's pull some more energy, get some more cards. And I really like the Six of Cups because it has an innocence about it. It's the two children for me that kind of just seal the deal on this card. A lot of people have this idea about relationships and love that they're supposed to look a certain way or people are supposed to do certain things. But with children, there's not really the same idea. It's kind of just watching and waiting, right? It's kind of just an energy around like, I'm not going to pressure you or I'm going to be more observant. I'd like to think of this scenario like this girl didn't even ask for this. She just stood around and some the other girl saw her interest and gave it to her out of love. I don't know the full story behind the card, but like I said, there's a certain innocence about this Six of Cups that is pretty cool. Also, encouraging people to rely on their past situations and get as much from that as you possibly can. There's value in your memories, there's value in your experiences in your past. It's important that you know where the gems are. For some of you, oh shit. For some of you, you might have to sift a little bit through the dirt, but that's probably because you haven't focused your intentions on some positive stuff in a while. So let's get some more energy. I'm just going to turn these back around because it's kind of confusing the hell out of me sometimes, but let's get it. Oh, flipped it. All right. So let's get some more cards. Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Page of Swords, and then the Four of Cups. Wow. Hmm. This is saying that you have an offer to make. You probably fear rejection. Some of you may want to apologize. Some of you may want to reconcile. Grab some of the smoothie. Hmm. So, the Queen of Pentacles. It's about truth. It's about consequences. It's about safety and security. It's about problem solving. It's about encouragement, empowerment. I'm getting the energy also that some of you like to study, Some of you like to help people with their problems, but aren't really helping yourself. So if that's you and your energy, be mindful to give yourself the things that you need right now. It's also about healing, charity. It's always good to understand other people. And I feel like for this instance, in regards to whatever may be going on, someone wants to make an offer or feels as though they would like an offer to be made for them. But when it comes to communication, something is very off. Something is very, I want to say flighty. I don't know, maybe like somebody wants to communicate but doesn't, and then when they try to, they can't. Possibly someone who wants to communicate and doesn't, but when they try to, they stop. Whatever it is, it seems to not have the ability to be open, which is kind of the conflict energy with the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, because the Queen is looking to help and be a part of a solution. But if the solution's not being communicated, or if no one's being open and honest about the circumstances, it makes it a little difficult. And I feel like something was rejected here because of that. It could be a love offer, an opportunity, but this Six of Cups over the Four of Cups might be saying that that wasn't really the decision that wanted to be made. It was the possibly the decision that was made out of lack. It's not for me to decide, it's for you to know, because you're here on YKTV and you know the vibes. That's what this is all about. I'm here to give you guys the energy and tell you how it's being distributed, and you can decide for yourself where you are on the spectrum of that. But I'm really getting that some of you want credit. Some of you want credit for something that was done. You want to uh, receive a reward for something. You want to be properly um, kept for some of you. For some of you, also, I'm getting that you want to offer someone a reward or offer someone an opportunity. It could be in this situation as well, since a lot more energy has come out, that something that you were working towards seems as though it was a fantasy and not an actual reality. But did you think of this circumstance from a place of lack or abundance when you fantasized about it? Because there's an opportunity that you probably missed out on, or you feel as though you missed out on because you didn't give it the proper care, attention, or communication. And it's possible that there is a message coming, or you will offer a message, possibly through another person, possibly through someone that you could be familiar with. And a message is as simple as, you're running into someone you know and they're asking about a mutual friend. And that conversation leads to a discovery or rediscovery of other aspects of things, like maybe some old feelings, some old resentments, whatever it may be. But it's definitely almost as if there's a secret liaison, someone going to get information about someone for someone else, someone else asking some questions that are kind of leading because they want answers to questions they don't want to ask, or because the page of wands because the page of swords energy is a bit um misleading. It's almost as if there's a double agent, somebody is spying for someone else, or pretending to be a friend of somebody who they don't particularly care about. So just keep that in mind and be aware of people who offer you BS. Just gonna keep it at that. Could be playing both sides against each other to serve their own agenda. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. That's what's coming out. But look, it's like It's like somebody knows what the bleep is going on. They're not allowing it to, but they have to communicate. And that is the biggest problem. If you're looking for love and happiness right now, it's there. If you're looking for communication, it's coming, but it's not here right now because they're waiting for the opportunity, or you're waiting for an opportunity. Okay. Yeah, this is really giving me energy towards something that is not quite what it seems. I don't know if you guys have any friends or family who are a little off, seemingly almost as if they're talking about you behind your back with people that you know, trying to get them to think differently of you, things of that nature. That's really the Page of Swords. It's a camouflage card. It's possible that someone is in your midst, or you're in the midst of a situation or circumstance where you're being played. But I'm going to move on from that energy because it seems like there are a bunch of ulterior motives, and I don't really want to get into that right now. So we're going to move on to the Four of Cups because that is the next card. And the way that you get out of this energy of dealing with these Page of Swords people is what I'm going to tell you right now. Get away from that energy that brought you to the place you don't want to be. Simple as that. However, it looks. In this instance, it's someone sitting under a tree, under a loan, rejecting the cup that was given to them. Now, it's interesting that this Four of Cups came up after the Page of Swords. And it's kind of creating a timeline, past, future, or present, where an offer is made and rejected because someone finds out that there is an energy of someone being not who they say they are. Hmm. I get from this, though, that there is a new sense of self from this for someone, a new opportunity to do the things that they enjoy. And they got some good stuff coming to them either way. Right now, someone may be trying to get in on something they have no business in on. They may be trying to get information on someone who they feel may have something good coming towards them. It's interesting. Wow. Again, this is the energy of someone feeling as though they're in a place of lack. Hmm. This is the Good Vibes Live, though. We're looking for the highest vibes possible. So if you're at a standstill right now, it's possible because you've dealt with some energy in regards to betrayal, or you've left someone behind who you've finally understood is not on the same page. This is emotional and psychic. It's almost like it's a fantasy in your mind playing out over and over again. They want you to take a clear look at how distracted you've become. A lot of energy of negativity and hopelessness. My biggest thing about this Four of Cups is just that it almost seems as though it's a decision to say no, but made out of arrogance. Someone is so negative about the circumstances that they're not accepting an opportunity for more. This is someone saying, well, I have 3 cups of love. I don't need your stupid little cup. Ah, man, that's silly. It's really not to your advantage to see the world like that, narrow minded. I also get the feeling that some of you are undermining yourself or others. I'm going to read to you guys a little passage about the Four of Cups. And You guys can make up your own minds because you know the vibes. Cut through some of the forces that undermine you, causing you to feel incapable. Sometimes you have to define what you are for by defining what you are against. Decide that you are not as heavy as a cup of earth, not placid as is the cup of water, not turbulent as is the cup of air. Rather, now may be the time to be as aroused as the cup of fire. This arousal may constitute liberation from the circumstances that may have brought you here. I think that's telling. I think that says a lot about the energy that we've read in this 8 card spread. It's important to understand that people, places, circumstances, things just are. They are. And it doesn't matter about your perception of it. Your perception doesn't make things real. It just channels your energy and gives you an understanding of what is or isn't. Either way, it's really just about being able to share. This Four of Cups is something that is really interesting to be under the Six of Cups because imagine if this girl in the Six of Cups didn't take the cup. And she said, no, thanks. I don't really want that. Knowing good and well that that is what she wanted because she stood there for an hour and watched the whole damn thing go down. She watched her arrange the cups and laugh and looked at the cups while they were being arranged and then was like, oh my God, I want one of those cups, but I can't afford it. And then out of nowhere, the girl came and gave her a cup. And then she put herself in the Four of Cups energy and said no. What would have happened? That would have been a really awkward moment where the Six of Cups girl stood here and was like, okay, I watched you stare at the damn cups for hours. I watched you. I saw you smiling at the cups, looking at them, fantasizing about the cups. And then I went and gave you the damn cup and you said no. That messes with all the energy because then the person who gave the cup is like, well, should I have even given the cup in the first place? Maybe next time I just won't. That's not really the place you want to be in either because it takes you out of a higher vibrational energy where you're willing to give to someone, all because someone rejected you or didn't want what you had to offer. Quite honestly, this is some pretty good stuff. There's a lot of ways to look at it as well. And for me, I'm really a hopeful person. I like to have hope and optimism. And the way that this Six of Cups over this Four of Cups is hitting, it's not optimistic for me. And that sucks. But also, somebody was pretending. So it is what it is. Moving forward, though, because there's a lot of other energy out here that I haven't discussed yet, but I'm going to get onto it Because when it comes to communication, someone is not cutting it. I'm also getting that the effort that they put forth just lacks. They lack effort. Man, to me, the energy around this is pretty judgmental. I would just tell people to change their mindset around shit. Stop looking at situations as half empty or having to work too hard. Stop penny pinching. Stop putting yourself into circumstances or situations where you aren't being honest about who you are. That energy will limit you from moving on from anything forever. Sometimes people have defense mechanisms that they develop as children that they never heal or move on from. Therefore, some of the ways that they react in very adult situations that require maturity and wisdom and um, grace, they act out in an emotional manner that may be a bit chaotic because they haven't healed the the lifelong traumas that have brought them to the point where they are. So instead of being open about their emotions, they'll close themselves off and run and hide or lie or pretend to be happy and then utilize someone else's energy to make themselves happy. There's a lot of scenarios where people do sketchy things to receive some joy. Either way, what it boils down to is being able to understand that circumstances and situations play out as they do because of the energy that you may put into things. And for some, the energy that you put in wasn't really conducive to things working out. So they didn't. What's next? It's time to make some good decisions. It's time to make your own decisions. Maybe it's time to communicate some things that get some things off of your chest. But you really want to focus on self right now. Your sufficiency and being able to do the things that you need to do. Um, Being able to be relied on. Reliability is probably an issue for a lot of you in the past few months. Some of you also have a bad habit of denying your own feelings. That's like being in a situation and knowing that it's pretty crappy and telling yourself that it's not just because you don't want to deal with the fallout of a relationship that you got into without thinking it through. The Queen of Swords doesn't want to wait, and I know you guys don't see it in this spread, but it's off to the side. And the Queen of Swords sees what she wants and she knows how to get it. So some of you are going towards what you want right now, which is love and fulfillment, which is communication. And it's definitely coming. Take small steps towards long term goals because there are opportunities that you've walked away from, but now you're walking, now you're on a path. And turning around is probably not going to work out too well, especially if you're the one who walked away. And I'm getting because for some of you that was because of depression or pessimism. So whatever you may have walked away from may have been actually very abundant in the things that you desired, but your or their depressive nature really ruined the connection and forced separation. And that can happen sometimes. I know with partners who are newer in relationships, they tend to not reveal everything about themselves first out. You may have a partner who dealt with some insecurities or anxiety or depression. Things got difficult in the relationship, and then they chose to leave, knowing that that's not exactly what they wanted, but they didn't know how to communicate or deal with the circumstances. And I get it. So it happens sometimes. But in this energy, in this reading in particular, it's really saying that you walked away from love. And that's why this is hurting so bad. This is why this is really not as good as someone thought it would be. Because they thought they would be great. Walking off into a sunset, a rainbow, better vibes. And it probably wasn't that. They kind of got to a place and they got led to a still body of water. And they looked down and saw the reflection and realized that it was time for a different approach. You got to make sure you're not being influenced by the part of yourself that cuts short your enthusiastic, optimistic impulses. Because that part of you isn't the part of you that's going to encourage you to do something great. It's going to encourage you to do something to further yourself in a negative energy that is not helping you. And what I mean by that is enthusiasm and optimism are great. But if you're in a depressive state and you have a moment of optimism or enthusiasm, and then you instantly combat it with, you know, a depressive thought, I really want to give so and so a call right now. And then immediately your mind is like, well, they probably won't even care about picking up the phone to hear from me. Seek to understand and accept the hesitation and the fear, and then come to terms. Then you can put some old emotions in their rightful place, which is out of the way. That's really the truth about that one. It's okay if you want to move on and move on to something different, something better for you. That's awesome. But in doing so, you have to put those old feelings and emotions away. They can't stay, they can't linger. Because if they do, they're not going to help. They're going to further the depression. They're going to further the circumstance being more difficult, make it harder. And what what else? So we also got another ace over here. Basically telling you that each person and event may possess something great, but you have to find it. They don't just pop out at you and say, "Hey, I'm great. Hey, I'm everything that you need." Little passage says, "Look in the eye of a loving parent or companion." Oh no, look with the eye of a loving parent or companion upon the people and things you come into contact with. Make a conscious decision to approve of and delight in even the quirky developments that make the world turn. No one can be perfect at such unconditional acceptance. Still, the practice will sweeten your day to day life. Your magnetism will increase, and more loving people will enter your life. The whole world will benefit as this becomes second nature to you. And that says a lot about what this whole spread has been about. There is a huge need right now for some of you to start accepting people for who they are, accepting things for what they are, dealing with the consequences of your decisions or indecisions. Stop rejecting things or offers made towards you of love because of fear or lack, or fear of lack, or not being ready. As the passage just said, unconditional acceptance is very difficult. No one's perfect. But when you start to respect situations and people or things for what they are, you have less of an expectation, therefore, less of a desire to control. It's really easy for someone like myself to meet new people and build relationships because I don't expect anything from people. I don't go into circumstances or situations like, well, I'm going to get this and this and this. I take it as it comes. And then I'm happy with whatever transpires. That's just my personal belief in life. And so far, it's helped. So far, so good. There's also some more energy around recent success and recycling that. What have you been successful with recently? Do it again. Do it again. And then do it again. That will help you with your confidence. And then that'll give you confidence to accomplish more. Say that you make, all right, here's a scenario. Someone lives in an apartment, they want to get a house. They just finished school and they got a degree in, I don't know, what's something you get a degree in? Say you have a degree in science. I don't know. And now that momentum can push you and put you in the position to be more successful because you're excited that you just finished something that you worked hard towards. And because you got to that point, you have the confidence to know that if you just spent 4 years in college, you can get a job because now you have a degree. That's something that you work towards. And it may have taken a while to get there, but you did it and you got there. That momentum is going to help you right now. It's going to give you confidence to know that you can accomplish other things that are just as great. Recycle some of that energy, take it back into your life, and then put it onto something else with complete confidence that it'll be successful. Doesn't that sound amazing? Doesn't that sound like you can't lose? That's the whole point because you really can't. There's really nothing stopping you. There's really absolutely nothing in your way. I did this whole spread and a reading for you and another person's energy, but it's really saying that the energy that's being held back or the energy that's being a little bit stubborn right now is probably coming from a lot of you who aren't dealing with issues that are internal as opposed to saying that it's someone else and projecting it onto them. Ultimately, though, it's just going to require some work on self. It's just going to require some isolation, some fantasy. But also, then when you do have an offer come in, don't reject it. When someone does offer you some help, take it. It'll ease your load. Imagine if this guy was like 10 miles from his house and he picked up all these wands and he's like, oh man, I got to carry it. And his house is over here 10 miles away. And then 4 miles down the road, someone goes, hey, you need some help? And they offer them some help in the Six of Cups energy. And then the guy's just like, no, I only got 4 miles left. I'll just do it on my own. That's what really this reading is saying. You have to be able to understand why people come into your life and respect that. Some people aren't permanent, and that's okay. That goes back to the conversation about unconditional acceptance. This person probably isn't a permanent person in your life if they choose never to put themselves in that position or if you reject them. That's just how it works. You have to use your imagination. Got to get a little bit creative because right now the world is in an energy of, well, kind of lack. There's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of chaos. And you don't want to confuse the chaos of the world and internalize that and make your own world chaotic. The best way to do that is to accept that the world is the way that it is, and people are the way that they are. And then use your creative mind and mindset to not have to be a part of circumstances or situations you don't want to be. Because remember, in this Page of Swords energy, somebody is not who they say they are. That's just what I'm getting off of that. Now, this is going to outline the energy outside of you. And I'm not going to break it down too much because happy hour is actually almost over. With that said, I'm going to take a little bit more of the smoothie. That is the good stuff right there. So the energy outside of you is really discipline and focus. Um, they're able to see enough of the bigger picture. The energy outside of you is towards achievement and goals and self. And I'm also getting that there is, for some of you, someone who wants to come back, but they do have to work on themselves. But they're also pretty excited about the opportunity to be together again. They are checking themselves. For some of you, I heard checking themselves in. For some of you, you might actually be dealing with someone who has recently been institutionalized. So that's a possibility, or possibly going to institutionalize themselves and check themselves in. So if you don't hear from someone for a while, it's a possibility. They will be missing you though, hoping to possibly celebrate the connection again. Just keep that in mind. They're full of promise. They're full of good, optimistic energy. And I feel like for some of you, that's what you miss. You miss their optimism, you miss their enthusiasm. But be prepared for changes that might include opportunities for travel. So they're probably in that energy right now of having to deal with the changes in circumstances in life. So it's cool. They're looking for compromises right now. They're looking for energy that is going to work with them and not against them. They're looking at their options, considering the long term, and there's no judgment. I also get that this energy is willing to compromise a significant amount, almost to the point where it felt like they were being taken advantage of. Whether that's by you or them, that's just the energy that popped up when I looked at the card and their energy. They may feel as though you were manipulative or deceitful, causing them at one point or another to communicate less. And I feel like for some of you, you witnessed this and kind of became distraught about it. It it may have furthered your depression that someone chose to take a step back, not knowing that it wasn't actually about you, it was more so about them. And it was about their inability to sustain themselves that possibly caused them to pull back from the connection at hand altogether. The reality is that when it comes to how they feel, they are very optimistic about a future together. And they're looking on ways to compromise that can be effective for everyone involved. Once they make that choice or come to that conclusion, they are going to move forward. And they're not going to move forward in an energy that is that lacks confidence, they're going to move forward with confidence and vigor because they see something possibly that you don't. I think they see the possibilities and they don't see obstacles, but they do have some worries. So, for right now, they are also putting themselves in the energy of, being on top of communication, responding, um, immediate action, moving forward. The game plan is becoming clearer and clearer, and they're leading themselves out of that energy, out of the energy of having things go poorly because of lack or not having thought things through. Chances are that they feel like they need to protect themselves, though. I'm getting that some of you are angry. Someone is dealing with a situation or circumstancing involving an angry person, an angry ex, an angry next. I don't know. You know the vibes. I'm just here to read the cards, and I do that. Hmm. Okay. Look, this is crazy. This just got wild AF. For some of you, be careful during these times. Your fertility is out of this world. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Um, Others of you, you're focused right now, working on yourselves, putting yourselves in a better overall energy, and you have a lot of options. So explore them and have some fun. And also understand that what happens, because I'm seeing for some of you that things are going to happen and you're going to end up back with someone and possibly get pregnant. So if that is not what you want, you know the vibes. If it is what you want, good luck with that. But the point is, you have to understand the decision and you have to be able to see the long term effects. You can't just say, well, I don't want it right now, and then make a choice to not do anything because you feel like, well, this is what it's going to lead to. Like I said, there are choices. There are choices that you can make along the way at every step, top to bottom. That could really change the outcome of a situation. That could be holding back one piece of information. That could be holding back one feeling or emotion. That could be, not totally committing to a relationship because of how you feel it could go. That could really change the outcome of the relationship because now you're putting all the energies together, but keeping all the factors um, out of alignment. There are people who wouldn't do certain things if they knew all of the facts. That's why people ask questions. That's why people get to know each other. There are people who wouldn't date me if they knew I did tarot. There are people who wouldn't like me if they knew about my past, and vice versa. So it's about respecting the energy that's coming together and making a decision out of respect for everyone and allowing everyone the opportunity to make that decision together, because that's what it's all about when you bring energies together. It's about everyone having the opportunity to share an experience. Whoa. Oh, shoot. Scared the hell out of me. Sorry about that. So, yeah, that's the energy for that right now. And let me look at these cards actually before I go. The World card, Judgment card, Queen of Wands, Hierophant. Yeah, some internal work, monetary work. And like I said, for some of you, be careful. You could be pregnant or have been pregnant by someone. Just if that's not what you're looking for, protect yourself, please. Because I don't want you coming back on my channel in 9 months and saying, "Hey, AP, guess what?" If you feel also that you didn't quite add up, if you're depressed, if because we did talk about depression during this live, if you feel depressed because of how you feel you're inadequate, I'm gonna shut you down right now. You are someone's dream. You may feel like the lowest of low at times. And I understand that. I've been there. Ultimately, though, even if you feel like your life is a nightmare, you're a dream for someone. Your presence alone is like a blessing for someone on this planet, whether or not you know who they are. But if you stop looking because you're sad about how you didn't add up to another circumstance or situation, you'll never know. And that's not okay. Make sure you allow for people who offer you the love that you want, offer them acceptance. Don't push them away. Okay. This has been amazing. I really appreciate you guys stopping by today. I appreciate you guys hitting the like button, hitting that thumbs up. I appreciate you guys who leave donations to the Cash App. It's helping our channel grow. Like I said, check out the description. Got some good links down there. Feel free to leave comments if you have any suggestions. Also, remember that I am posting videos about tarot. So if you have anything that you want to talk about specifically, if you leave a comment, we could talk about it. I can record videos and post them later if you need answers to certain spiritual questions. If I have answers, I'll gladly help you. Let's just get some overall energy for what this circumstance or situation moves into. We want some answers. Three of Pentacles, Ten of Wands again, and then the Four of Swords. So, interestingly enough, the Four of Swords popped up in your person's energy, and it's pretty clear that right now you have to shine. Right now, you have to understand that you are a work of art in progress. Okay? Just because it's an in progress doesn't mean that it's still not a work of art. It doesn't mean that it is less than the works of arts that are completed. Even if a work of art never gets finished and you complete other works of art, you have to understand that there is still value in the art that you created that didn't come into fruition. Being an artist, it's something that I understand. An artist like Leonardo da Vinci had a lot of paintings that he finished. And if you find an original Da Vinci, it is worth millions. But if you find one that wasn't completed, well, then you don't even know how much that's worth. Keep that in mind. Keep working hard towards your goals. Accept the love as it's offered. Show people and places respect who respect you. And even the ones who don't. Because that's what it's truly about. People don't always agree with me. People don't always like my approach in life. I'm not always this calm. I turn the fuck up. And if I don't like someone, they'll know 110% sure because I'll tell them. And I'll say, I don't like you. I don't want you around. And that's okay. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. This has been the happy hour. You know the vibes, baby. Peace.